Om Samasta Jana Kalyane Niratam Karunamaya Namami Chinmayam Devam Sadgurum Brahmavidvaram Om Namo Bhagavate Shri Ramanaya. So we saw yesterday what is the Kumbhaka Pranayama. Pranayama, Kumbhakam, Hatha Yoga is given for those who are unable to do Vikshana Pranayama. Vikshana Pranayama, observing the breath by the mind. If they cannot do it, Ramana Maharshi allowed us to practice Hatha Yoga. Bhagavan said, no margam is to be rejected. If at all something has to be rejected, Bahirmukhatvam of the mind has to be rejected. Some method you follow. Then he gave the formula 1:4:1. With this, Nadi Shuddhi takes place and Kumbhakam is achieved. Retention is achieved. Now, that is one part is over. So, first part section, Bhagavan gave high sadhana of Vikshana Pranayama. Then he gave Kumbhaka Pranayama. Now he says in the 9th verse, Atha Jnaninam Ekesham Abhimatam Rejagadi Swarupam Aha. Atha Jnaninam Ekesham Abhimatam. Now, some Jnanis' opinion about pranayama. This is also said by Bhagavan Adi Shankaracharya ji in his text, other text, Aparokshanubhuti. He spoke same thing. So, Jnani's approach pranayama is different. Through Vikshana pranayama only, how Tyagam dehatma bhavasya rechakam jnaninah pare purakam marganam swasya kumbhakam sahajastitim Tyagam dehatma bhavasya rechakam jnaninah pare purakam marganam swasya kumbhakam sahajastitam stitim. Pare, some other jnanis. Jnaninah, what they say? Dehatma bhavasya. Dehe atmano bhavaha dehatma buddhi ityartaha. Dehatma bhavasya means what? Considering the deha as Atman, deha as the real, as me. This bhavana tasya tyagam hanam rechakam prahuriti iti sheshaha. Now, jnanis say, when you are expelling the breath, throw out the body identification. Thought, I am the body, is expelled through out breath. Through rechakam, every rechakam, I am not this body. This thought that I am the body is thrown out, expelled through out breath. Jnanis do this. Sharire na aham deha iti. Sharire Vasana balat rodham aham pratitim nissarya tyajet. Because of the vasana bala, strength, the vasanas, strong vasanas, that gives rise to sharire aham prati, in the thought of aham in the body, that I am the body. Thought is there, I am the body. Who am I? I am the body. So the sharire aham pratiti, I am the body, this I amness, I am in the body, considering body as Atman. Why? Because of vasana balat. because of the strong vasanas we have, very strong vasanas. How can we say? Experience that I don't know anything, any other existence except I am the body. You may be thinking Vedanta you studied, but body identification is not dropped. So that body identification is kept intact. It's a big leap in spiritual sadhana. Not by thought. It's not saying I am the body, I am not the body, I am not the body, I am not the body. Not by saying, practically seeing the body as an object, like a kursi outside. That is not me. I can ride whenever I want. That is not me. It is totally different from me. Just as the car driver doesn't say, I am the car. I am using the car whenever I want to drive. When I don't want to drive, I park it and I go inside. Absolutely, totally disconnected with the body identification. Is totally gone. For Mahatmas. But the Vasana Bala is there, that has to be thrown out. Strong Vasanas, because of the Vasana, the I am the body thought is expelled through every breath, outside, through every exhalation of the breath. I am the body thought is given up. I am the body thought is given up. Nissarya jajet, to be expelled. Nissarya. Nissarya means completely exclude it and expel it. The body is not me, it is not me. Exclude it and expel, throw it out. Suppose some insect has fallen on you. What will you do? It is not me. Something else fallen on me. It is not me. So, I exclude it from myself because it is not me. I exclude mentally, this is not me. Then I expel it. I just with the finger, I kick it out. I throw the insect out. Don't land on me. Similarly, in my existence as pure consciousness, this body identification is there and this is hanging in me, which is not me. So exclude it and expel it through rechaka. Every breath, not sometimes, occasionally. Every breath the jnani is conscious, this is not the body. Thought is thrown out. Yad bhavam tad bhavati. So as you think, so you become. Evam dehatmadhi parityaga eva rechakam bhavati. So dehatma buddhi, giving up the dehatma buddhi is called as rechakam. That is exhalation. Swasya atmanaha marganam anveshanam purakam ahuhu. Now when the purakam, inhalation is going on, in the inhalation, as though you are entering into your own self, in search of yourself, enquiry, marganam, enquiry. Every in-breath is only to enquire. Self-enquiry is called purakam. Who am I? What is that? Koham, kva asmi iti, va sharire swatma anveshanam purakam prahuhu. Who am I? And where am I? Kva asmi. This asmi, I am there. We have seen in earlier chapters of the Ramana Geeta. Where is this I present? Where is this jiva present? In the body. That we saw already in earlier chapters. So, kvasmi, no, I am there, I know I am, but where I am? I don't know where I am. I know I am. I know I am existing, but I don't know where I am in the body. Because body is immediately that like a light, a source of Deepa is source. And it spreads its light. Similarly, Chetana is spreading all over the body. So, where is the light? Light is spread in the hall. But wherever spread is, but where is the real eye located? Light is located in the source. What is the source? The bulb. So whenever somebody touches me, I say, don't touch me. But actually it is, I am pervading. From where? Where is the source of it? Where do we exist? Kwasmi iti. Enquiry. Koham. Who am I? Where am I? Sharire. Kwa sharire. Sharire kwasmi iti. Where am I in the body? It is swatma gaveshanam. Enquiry. Purakam prahuhu. It is called Purakam. So Jnanis give this kind of. So Rechaka is thrown out. I am the body thrown out. In Purakam, Anveshanam is going on. Enquiry is going on. Sahajastitim Ajatnataha Swaswarupa Avastitim Kumbhakam Prahuhu. What is that now? What is Kumbhakam? Now, if you see the breath, it goes in and it's for fraction of second, it remains in Kumbhaka sthiti. It has to pause. The in-breath goes and takes a pause. That pause is called Kumbhakam. Then the pause is there, then the out-breath begins. Right? That pause is called Kumbhakam. So what is Kumbhakam for Jnanis? Effortlessly establishing in one's own self is called as Kumbhakam according to some Jnanis' approach. So, in the pause, there is neither inhalation nor exhalation. There is a pause. You settle yourself in the pause. Naturally, be there in the pause and settle yourself in your own self. That is called Kumbhakam. Okay? Swaswarupa avasthitahi kumbhakam prahuhu. This is Jnani's approach. Now another shloka is given. Atha mantra japenapi manonigraha shakya ityaho. Now Bhagavan gives, through mantra japa also mind can be controlled. What happens in mantra japa? That also nirantaram should be done. Now mantra japa technique is given. Bhagavan, through mantra japa also, you should be able to control the mind. What is that now? Japena vatha mantranam manaso nigraho bhavet manasena tada mantraha pranayo rekata bhavet japena vatha mantranam manaso nigraho bhavet manasena tada mantraha pranayo rekata bhavet yoga margena jnana margena cha manonigraham pratipadya. First, he also having explained, given, expounded the techniques of the mind control through yoga marga and jnana marga. What is jnana marga? Observing the breath, or puraka rechakam, throwing out the thought I am not the body. Anveshanam is purakam. Sahajasthiti establishing in one's own natural state is called Kumbhakam. That is Jnana Margam was told. Yoga Marga is, Hatha Yoga Marga was given with the formula Kumbhakam, Aud Purakam, Rechakam, Kumbhakam. Having given these two, Yoga Marga and Jnana Marga, now Bhagavan Ramana Maharshi gives Mantra Japa Marga to control the mind. How Mantra Japa? We know, I know Mantra Japa. No, we don't know anything. We'll see now what Bhagavan says. Mantra Japasya api tat sadhanatvam aha. So to control the mind, to attain Kumbhakam, to settle the mind in its own self, Mantra Japa also is a means, is a sadhana. Now, mantra, what happens here? The next two mantra slokas are like same. Mantrasya, that is pranasya cha, ubayoho nigruhitena. Mantrasya, pranasya cha, ubayoho nigruhitena, manasena saha ekatam aikyam bhavet. So, mantra, sorry, I have missed something. Tat sadhanatvam aha. Atha mantranam japena va manaso nigraho bhavet. Therefore, mantranam japena. Mantranam japena. By that mantra japa, manaso nigraham bhavet. Mind can be controlled. Spashtam. It is clear. Tada, when. Tada means when. Then, through mantra japa, tada, through mantra japa, manonigrahe jate, what happens? By doing mantra japa, when the mind is brought under control, mantra japena, what happens at that time? Mantra pranayoho, mantrasya pranasya cha ubhayoho nigruhitena, manasena saha ekata aikyam bhavet. Now what is happening? By mantra japa, prana also is brought under control. Right? By mantra japa. So mantra and prana yoho. Mantrasya pranasya cha. Ubayoho. Mantra and prana. Ubayoho nigruhitena. So by mixing, how the next mantra will come? By bringing this mantra and prana, by mantra japa, prana also is brought under discipline, controlled. So mantra japa, what happens? Pranasya cha ubhayoho nigruhitena manasena saha ekata aikyam bhavet. The prana will merge in the japa. Pranamaya, prana shakti, prana becomes one with the mantra. So that will come more explanation in next sloka also. So ekatam aikyam bhavet. Mantra pranena eva ekatam vrajet iti pate. Some other pata is there. That mantra and prana becomes one. Ekatam. They become one. In that case, iti pate mantraha pranena yatha ekatam vrajet. So mantra, so prana becomes one with mantra, or mantra becomes one with prana. Through mantra japa, so vrajet tatha manasena api iti bodhyam. So by the chanting the mantra, the prana becomes one with the mind, and mind also one becomes one with the prana. By mantra japa. There is a said, how it is happening in the next verse? It is a pratipadanam. It is first proposed that mantra japa you do, the prana is brought under control. By observing the breath, prana is brought under control, nadi shuddhi takes place, kumbhakam is attained by observing the breath. Or kumbhaka pranayama you do, many formulas are there. One formula is given here by Ramana Bhagavan, 1:4:1. That you do. Then through that pranayama, mind becomes peaceful. Then mind and prana comes under control. Prana also becomes cleansed. Mind also becomes pure. And mind slowly settles in its own swarupa. So mind prana also becomes quietened because of pranayama. So mind control is achieved. That also was told. Now through mantra japa also, the prana shakti slowly attains oneness with the mantra. That's the beauty. So the prana spandana, how more clarity is given in the next verse. He says, Atha mantra yoga swarupam pratipadayan. So mantra yoga swarupam. What is the nature of mantra yoga? How it is happening? What happens when we chant mantra? Any mantra you take, mantra yoga swarupam pratipadayan, proposing, propounding, tasya swatmanishta sadhanatvam aha. So by propounding, explaining, expounding the mantra japa yoga. So mantra yoga swarupam, not japa yoga, mantra yoga swarupam pratipadayan, tasya swatmanishta sadhanatvam. How through mantra japa swatmanishta is reached. So many Mahatmas have reached only through mantra japa. But their mantra chanting is not like our chanting, or our chanting is part of mind chants. 90% of mind travels here and there. And ego tells us, you are done, aaj ka jap tumhara ho gaya, ab so jao. So, कितने बार जप में किया, मेरा 1 करोड़ बार हो गया, इसका अहंकार बढ़ जाता है. So we don't know. We don't know. Sincere sadhana we never do. Rather we never did. So, mantraksharanam pranena sayudhyam dhyanamuchyate सहजस्थितये ध्यानम् दृढ़भूमिः प्रकल्पते मंत्राक्षराणां प्राणेन सायुज्यं ध्यानमुच्यते सहजस्थितये ध्यानम् दृढ़भूमिः प्रकल्पते. Now he says very beautifully. Now, what is dhyanam? Mantraksharanam. What is mantra? A combination of letters. Shri Krishnaya Namaha, Ramaya Namaha, Sri Matre Namaha, Om Namah Shivaya, whatever, Om Namo Narayanaya, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. All these are letters. Mantra means what? Letters. Now, mantraksharanam, mantrasya sukshmam antara iva ucharyamanasya. Now, mantra chanting, when it is chanted in a calm and quiet in the mind, sukshmam antareva, mantra sukshmam, subtly inside, antareva, ucharyamanasya. So in the mind, you are chanting mantra. Now for the basic fundamental rule in mantra chanting is the fundamental rule. When we are chanting the mantra, I must be alert to my chanting. I must observe my own chanting. I must listen to my own chanting. That we don't do. Fully present. When you are chanting, you are conscious of the vibration on the mind. conscious of each word being pronounced, its intonation, the letters. You are present fully and listening to your own mantra japa by the inner ears. Is a necessary fundamental condition. Otherwise, माला फिरते रहते हैं, हाँ उधर रखो, लेके आया दूध, आवा रख देना, बाढ़ है, पागलपन है, फिरते रहते हैं, देखते रहते हैं. It's a joke. That way हम जीवन भर माला फिरते रहते हैं. माला becomes very small and disappear. माला कहाँ गया? Disappeared. Because of friction between your finger and mala. Mala, the beads are exhausted. Become smooth and smooth, smaller in size and disappeared. This fundamental rule. Keep this rule in mind. So, mantraksharanam mantrasya sukshma mantreva ucharyamanasya mantra visheshasya. Koi mantra vishesha. Any bijakshara mantra, any pauranika mantra, any mantra you take. Aksharanam, mantra aksharanam varnanam pranena sayujyam. These letters becomes yoked with prana. Every letter attains oneness with prana. Sayujyam. They unite. The prana and the mantra chanting gets united. Sayuktvam, sahayuktatvam, aikyam iti yavat. They become one. Mantra chanting in this way, what I said how to chant. Then the prana becomes one with the mantra. So prana shakti mantra aksharon ke saath jud jata hai. It become one. The prana. And when these two become one, when the prana is united with every letter that we chant mentally of the mantra, every letter of the mantra that we chant mentally, with every letter, the prana becomes one. That is called dhyanam uchyate. That is dhyanam uchyate. Now, yadyapi manaha eva japtruhu bhavati. Now, actually, question is, although, who is the chanter? Chanter is the mind. Who is chanting the mantra? Mind is chanting the mantra. Not your lips, not Vaikhari Vani, but only in the mind. Mind is chanting. The chanter is the mind. However, tathapi, japyamanasya mantrasya varnanam abhivyaktihi pranenaiva bhavati. Now see, beautiful thing. Here is important. The ability in the mind, the abhivyakti, the mantra is spelt out in the mind, by the mind. The very ability in the mind to spell out the mantra, that Shakti is provided by prana. Swamiji, is it true? बंद कर देना 15 दिन खाना, तब सोचो. बोलते सोचने के लिए भी दम नहीं है. Where is the prana you are getting? From prana shakti only. Prana is to be given by food or sun rays, by food. The three bhagas, that the extreme gross part is thrown out, Madhya bhaga goes into constructing the body, the subtle portion of the food goes into the energy, supplies energy. The finest fuel goes to aviation. Similar, the food that whatever you use as food you eat, in that fine energy is there. The fine energy goes to the mind. Where it is said, Upanishad? Upanishad says. So Madhya Bhaga, Adho Bhaga, then Madhya Bhaga, then the lowest part, the Kachada thrown out. Madhya Bhaga goes into construction of blood and muscles and bone marrow. In that also some divisions are there. Madhya Bhaga. Madhya Bhaga is a range. In that range some energy goes here. That is why, I'll tell you one secret here. स्पून से नहीं खाना चाहिए. क्या संबंध है बताता हूं. Food is filled with prana. Prana Shakti is there in the ahara that we take. आज से जो लोग स्पून यूज करते हैं ना फैशन के लिए, फेंक देना. मैं सच बता देता हूं, आपकी इच्छा बाद में. बाबा, डोंट मेक योर हैंड डर्टी. अच्छा, अन्न को पकड़ के हैंड डर्टी होता है. अन्नम न निंद्या तद्व्रतम. अन्न इज परब्रह्म स्वरूपम. हमें बचपन में हमको ऐसे सिखाया, अन्नम परब्रह्म स्वरूपम, अन्नम न निंद्यात. पेट पे कुछ छोड़ना नहीं, अन्न की निंदा ना करे. उपनिषद, तैत्तिरीयोपनिषद says. And what we call, don't dirty your hands, use spoon. अच्छा, but sometimes you cannot touch some kind of thing. You may have to kheer. Kheer may be our Puja Gurudev. In one house, I was there. That Amma, after the food, the silver plate was served in Gurudev's food, silver cups, and Gurudev ate food. Then she brought one cup of kheer, Kerala type kheer. Gurudev likes kheer very much. That katori, I was standing there. Katori liya. He poured everything into the plate. The plate is empty actually. Everything is eaten nicely. He poured. And kheer spread. That intelligent lady, Swamiji, I would have given spoon. Spoon is there. That kheer spreads in the plate. Hot. So in the corner we eat. South Indians were experts in eating kheer and all that. On plantain leaf, we are experts. So Gurudev took it from the corner, looked at the lady. Better on plantain leaf. And you don't know maja in it, he said. Why we should touch and eat food? Food has got various layers of prana that is absorbed by us through eating. But some layers of prana are absorbed into our system only through fingers. It is not absorbed through any other way. By touching the food through fingers, some kind of prana enters. And while eating, keeping it in the mouth and chewing, some prana is absorbed through palate, through tongue, through inside, inner portion of cheeks, all that. It goes inside. And some other prana is digested and taken out. So those who eat with spoon, they miss 2-3 layers of prana. So mind has got Shakti. Without Manasika Shakti, who is supplying? Prana Shakti is supplying that energy supplied by prana to the mind to chant mantra. So mantras are abhivyakti, manifesting in the mind, uttering in the mind is happening. That mantras are brought out in the form of a uttering in the mind by prana. Without that prana, mantra cannot be chanted. Therefore, तथापि जप्यमानस्य मंत्रस्य वर्णानाम अभिव्यक्ति प्राणेनैव भवति. सूक्ष्म जपक्रियायाः प्राणेन एव निर्वर्त्यमानत्वात्. सूक्ष्म जपक्रिया, the subtle japa that we do in the mind, is possible only through prana. The prana shakti is required to make that sukshma japa, mental japa take place. So, nirvartyam. So, prana does the function of japa in the mind. So, prana is nirvahaka. In the mind, chanting. The prana is supplying the energy to the mind for chanting. Therefore, praneneva nirvartyamanatvat. Prana eva mantra aksharatmakatam gacchati. Therefore, prana alone becomes mantraksharam. It becomes one. Prana alone is expressing as mantra. So prana means prana is ensouled, infused into every mantra that is chanted. The prana alone is taking and supporting and uttering, helping the mind to chant. So prana eva mantraksharatmakatam gacchati. Mantraksharani cha prana rupatam vrajanti. So prana is ensouled in the mantras, and mantras take the form of prana rupa. Mantra in the chanting takes the form of prana rupa, and prana itself infuses itself into mantra, so they become actually one. Without prana, mental chanting is not possible. So when you are chanting mantra japa, automatically prana is involved. Prana attains oneness with the mantra in the mind. When this is achieved, ataha, therefore, mantra akshara pranayoho aviyojatva rupam. Meaning, this cannot be separated. Mantra and prana can never be separated. Because mantra manifestation means prana is there. Prana is there means mantra had gone into prana. So, therefore, mantra akshara pranayoho. Between mantra aksharam and pranaha, in between them, aviyojatva rupam. Viyojya, viyogya, separation. Aviyojyatva, they become one. They are inseparable. Rupyaikyam sayujyam siddhyati. They become one, these two. Mantra and prana. Now, mantra yoga margena idam dhyanam uchyati. This is called dhyanam in the mantra yoga marga. One who achieves this, he attains dhyanam, and he crosses the body consciousness and he merges into Paramatma. हमारा प्राणा 90% प्राणा बहिर्मुखम. प्राण सोचता रहता है, पकौड़े का स्मेल आया, ओम नमः शिवाय. पकौड़े खाने का मन लगा, जब करते करते कुकर का विजिल आया, अरे यार कोई बंद करे विजिल, ओम नमः शिवाय, ओम नमः शिवाय, ओम नमः शिवाय. एंड ईगो धोखा देता है हमको, आज का जब तुम्हारा पूरा हो गया बहुत बढ़िया है. अपने आप को हम धोखा दे रहे हैं. सो मंत्र योग मार्गेण इदम तच्च ध्यानम mantra pranayoho aikyam. That dhyanam, that kind of a dhyanam which is making the mantra and prana aikyam druda bhumi. That becomes firm ground for meditation. Druda bhumi, sat druda bhumi, sthitihi yasya tat praptihi tat prapta sthiti padam iti yavat, sthiti padam yavat, tat prapta sthiti padam yavat. That means that prapta, the attainment of this, the merging of prana shakti and mantra shakti, mantra, aksharas in one. That is siddhi. That is called siddhi. Prapta sthitihi, sthiti padam, sorry, not siddhi. Prapta sthiti padam iti yavat. Sthiti padam yavat. Sahaja sthitaye prakalpate. That will take you to natural state of your own existence. That kind of a japa. Sahajatmanishtam sampadayutam prabhavati iti bhavaha. Meaning what? It produces the natural state. So, the oneness between mantra and prana leads to natural state of your own existence. That is, it leads to self-abidance. This way, if you do mantra japa, Swami ji, अभी तक जितने मार्ग बताए, everything is difficult for us. Kumbhaka, we cannot do. Counting 1, 4, बहुत मुश्किल है. ज्ञान पद्धति, वीक्षण प्राणायाम is very difficult. Mind is बड़ा चंचल होता है. Because there is no bala in the mind to stick to prana observation. वो भी मुश्किल लग रहा है. अच्छा, ज्ञानी लोग बोलते हैं रेचकम देहात, वो तो इम्पॉसिबल है. To exhalation, I am not the body. Inhalation, who am I? And the pause is natural state. वो बहुत मुश्किल है. कहाँ होता है? So मंत्र जपा ये भी बहुत मुश्किल है. ये मंत्र जपा हम सोच रहे थे कि मंत्र फिराते रहो जप हो जाता है. नहीं, ऐसा नहीं हो रहा है. It is very difficult. So it is too subtle. You must become inside. अच्छा, अब क्या करें? भगवान gives final marga. अथा अन्यम मनोनिग्रह उपायम yoga vidhyam rahasyam. If you cannot do all of these things, that secret which is known only to Mahayogis, yoga vidhyam rahasyam, secret, manonigraha upayam, secret of the mind control, which is known only to Mahayogis. Udghatayan, curtain raising. Udghatayan, adhyayam upasamharati. So, in the last verse, Ramana Maharshi gives the final method, rahasyam, which is known to yogis. The curtain is raised. With that curtain raiser, he concluded his discourse on mind control. Who said all this? Bhagavan Ramana Maharshi. Now, what is the rahasyam? You want now or in December? हाँ जी, दिसंबर तक पता नहीं कहाँ रहेंगे, क्या होगा. आज ही बोल दो. बोलते कर्ण बोला ना, कल किसी ने कहा कि कल आकर ले लो. कर्ण बोला तो कब तक जिंदा रहेगा क्या? आज ही दे दो. बट यू नो, पता नहीं क्या होगा. आज ही सुन के जाना. ऐसा नहीं कि आप मरेंगे रात को. This is, we think we know, actually we don't know. Because what happens and how to absorb, we don't know. सुनने के बाद हाँ हमें पता है, you don't know. Yesterday मंत्र जपा, you said ना, I know. मंत्र जप देंगे, हाँ हम तो पता है हमको. क्या पता चला क्या होता है अभी इसमें? This is also you don't know. What is that technique? Sahavasena mahatam सतामारूढचेतसाम् क्रियमाणेन वा नित्यम् स्थाने लीनं मनो भवेत् सहवासेन महतां सतामारूढचेतसां क्रियमाणेन वा नित्यं स्थाने लीनं मनो भवेत्. This commentary is little bit bigger, little high, little heavy, little large. So we will see clearly. That's why I asked extra time. Now see. क्रियमाणेन सताम आरूढचेतसां महतां नित्यं सहवासेन वा स्थाने मनोलीनो भवति भवेत् इति योजना. Spending time with the saints and sages will take you, the mind, into that state of meditation, and you attain that retention or self-abidance. This is Vakya, but we don't know anything about it. Where we make mistake, we will see here. बैठ जाते हैं हम तो बैठ गया something is missing there. That we'll see clearly. What happens here? अस्मिन् अध्याये मनोनिग्रह उपाय भूत साधनानाम् अन्यतमम् अपि अकुर्वाणस्य पुरुषस्यापि जिज्ञासोः मनसः स्वरूप अवस्थितिः महतां सहवासेन सिद्ध्यति इति प्रतिपाद्यते. Those people who are desirous of knowing their own Atma Tattva but incapable of controlling their mind by any of the methods suggested above, for them association with the wise people is shown as a marga to attain self-abidance in time, kramena, kalena, slowly. That is shown in this sloka. Mahapurusha sahavasena jignasoho purushasya sadhanantaravarjameva. By giving up all kinds of sadhanas, by mere staying with a Mahatma, jignaso purushasya sadhanantaravarjameva. He can give up all kinds of sadhanas. Just be with the Mahatma. Paripaka siddhehe kramashah kalena. Slowly, gradually, he will be purified. But you have to be there with the Guru, not occasional visit. Sahavasena. Occasional visit means at least not 1 minute satsang and come back. We have to be there with the Guru at least for some time in a year. Be with the Guru. But when we are with the Gurus, we find their faults also. We have a lot of impurities in mind, I tell you. We start judging the Guru. And ati parichayat avagnya. Familiarity, Gurudev says, breeds, if not contempt, a careless regard. A careless regard. वो तो देखते आया हूँ, रोज देखता हूँ, पागल है वो भी हमारे जो सोता है हम जैसे खाता है. वो कभी कभी चिल्लाता भी है, कभी कभी कुछ मांगता भी है, ऐसा पता नहीं ऐसा इसके पीछे क्यों पड़ गए ऐसा. Even Narayana will come and stand in front of you, you will judge him also. इसका रंग ठीक नहीं है, इसका वो ठीक नहीं है, उसका वो ठीक नहीं है. But so, being with Maha, kramashah, gradually, kalena, in time, manah swasthitam prapnuyat. Mind attains self-abidance. Now, what happens? Yatha examples are given. But with what is the approach? First of all, we should go with surrender attitude. We should be able to receive the gift that masters give. When we are with Gurudev, suppose, and we must be fully present with Guru, tune our mind to Guru, observe the Guru, listen to Guru with devotion, humility, and feel that sanctity of the presence of the Master. Feel blessed, feel humble, total surrender, and seeing something in the Guru which is not easily visible for anybody, not outside, not his jokes, not his intellectual capacity, not his the form, not his capacity to logically explain, analyze, appreciate. देन उनके साथ बैठने से मजा आता है. They are not even skin scratchers. We don't see the inner being at all. Because our mind itself is such a dirty mind. We keep on analyzing. He is a good speaker, good orator, good organizer, good administrator. Constantly work करता है, पता नहीं, very intelligent, very thing. These are all external cheap things we talk about masters. Very cheap. Because we are not developed that subtlety to understand the presence of a Mahatma. We are not tuned to it. Unfortunately, that is a fact. We don't know how to receive. So there is no point. In our satsang is like, analytical satsang. मजा आया, मजा आया, मजा आया. फोटो खिंचवाओ गुरु के साथ. प्रसाद पा लेना, खा लेना, a kind of false trupti, come back home. Difficult. So we just... But what happens there with the Guru? He gives examples. He says, यथा धीरस्य सहवासात् भीरः अपि भीरुत्वं भाज्यते. Because of the proximity or staying with a courageous man, a timid man also loses his timidity and becomes at least a little courage he gathers. Dhairyam cha leshatah va jayate. In him at least some part of courage is born. Why? Constantly being with a courageous man. Or tatha panditasya sangatyat pamaratvam bhajyamanam kramena hiyate iti subodham. And well known that when you are with a wise pandita, eventually you will gain, by moving with pandita, listening to panditji, listening to his conversation with others, you will also gain knowledge. Right? So slowly, the pamaratvam, ignorance is slowly goes away by being with the pandit. Yathava or jajvalyamanat prasarato prasarataha gadhagnehe paritah kshiptani adrendhanani kramashah swayam jwalitani bhavanti. Now a fire is lit, huge fire, very huge fire is lit. The dry, huge wood are there, blocks, the fire is there. Now, at a distance, say about a few feet away, you have kept some wet wood. Even though the wet wood is slightly kept away from the fire, because of the proximity of the fire, the wet wood also becomes dry and eventually catches the fire and gets burnt. Because the heat is so much. It dries up and catches the fire and it burns. Kramashah swayam jwalitani bhavanti tatha imani bhutani atmavidam mahapurusham paritastitani. These beings who are staying in the proximity of a atmavida, an enlightened being. Not an ordinary saint and sage I'm talking. जिसी के पास जाओ जितना वो मिलता है उसके पास जो जितना दे सकता है वो उतना ही देगा आपको. पूज्य गुरुदेव Many examples he gave in this direction. So आप गुरु के पास जाओगे सत्संग में, गुरुदेव के पास जाओगे, whatever extent you can gain depending upon your capacity, that much alone you get. But if you go and sit in the presence of an Atmavidaha, such a guru if you get, in that presence if you are there, you will be transformed. One look, Bhagavan Ramana Maharshi transformed many people. In Ramana Maharshi's life you read. One look, they have realized the truth. Listen, they have reached far advanced, they have gone. Parama Viragis they became Mahatmas, they attained the truth. So therefore, here he says, Atmavidam Mahapurusham Paritah Sthitani, Atmavit Prabha Nimagnani. Those who get soaked in the effulgence of the enlightened being. He sheds special effulgence. That light he sheds. It is not a figurative expression. It is. And that light, these people get soaked. Therefore, what is that? Atmavit Prabha Nimagnani. Prabha effulgence. In that effulgence of immersed in the effulgence of that great Mahatma, Mano Nigraha Sampannani Bhavanti. Automatically mind becomes peaceful, calm. Many people experience that kind of calmness and quietude in the presence of a Mahatma. If you can remain and use it and take it back home without losing it, but we come back home and we lose it. उनके पास जाके बैठना तब अच्छा आया. But why don't we carry it that with us? We don't know the art of it. That's why I said we are all not conscious in the presence of the wise beings. Atha, now continuing a commentary, Atha Mahatam iti asya visheshanati sahavasena Mahatam. Mahatam Satam. Those Atma being great, Satam, Mahatam. So, Mahatam iti asya visheshana dvaya upadanam avadheyam. Now we should understand Mahatam and Satam is used. No, these two visheshanas are used, adjectives. We should understand avadheyam. We should grasp the real meaning of it. The Kapal Shastriyar says, Keva Mahantaha Yesham Sahavasah Sahavasinam Jnanapradam Paripakam Vidhatte. Who are those Mahatmas in whose presence the beings get transformed and they also get that divine knowledge and they get fructified in the presence of the great master? Tejo Vruddhaha. They are Tejo Vruddhaha hi Mahantaha. They are actually Tejo Vruddha, not Vayo Vruddha. Their effulgence is so great, so wide, that light is so powerful. Mahantaha Yesham Antarastha Prabha Tanudvara Deepa Prabha Kacha Vrittidvara Iva Nirgamya Bahihi Prasruta Paritaha Anyeshu Ashriteshu Sanklanta Bhavati. That light which is in there, in them, like a light, powerful light kept in a glass case, emerges out of the glass case and it makes everyone bright in its presence. Similarly, the Antarprabha Tanudvara emerging out of their physical bodies spread that light everywhere and everyone, whoever is in their presence, Sanklinta Bhavanti. They get moistened, they get painted, they get soaked by the effulgence of the Mahatma, which is coming out exuberance, brilliance, expressing out, ejecting out of their bodies and soaking everyone completely, whoever is there in their presence, in their light or brilliance. Sankranta bhavati. They all get painted, they all get moistened. Tasmat mahatam sahavase kriyamane tat prabha vishesha sanklanti palati iti hetoho mahatproktam palam. So great is the fruit of being with the great people. If you go a small seeker is there, co-seeker, jitna to ho sakta utna ho sakta. You can get something or the other from everybody. But when you are talking about a mighty beings of those who have realized the truth, in their presence if you are soaked and able to absorb that consciously also. देखिए, if you go to a guru with an inverted katori, can guru put you anything in that katori? We go to gurus with inverted katori, with a head strong, with analytical ability. We should go to a guru with this like a katori holding. Then guru can put inside something, no? But our heads are always inverted. So palati iti hetoho mahatproktam palam. So tasmat mahatam sahavase kriyamane. If you do the sahavasa, being with Mahatmas, sahavase kriyamane, tat prabha vishesha sanklan, that the effulgence which is coming out of them, sanklanti palati. So that you get moistened, get soaked in that. Iti hetoho mahatproktam palam mahatam sahavasasya. Therefore, the great is the fruit by being with the great people, great Mahatmas. Tad etan mahatam mahatvam yad esham anya sanklanti samarjam swabhavata siddham. The greatness of these beings is that their ability to influence and to get soak everyone in their effulgence and bring transformation or trigger the transformational process in others is a natural state for them. It's a natural achievement for them. They don't put any efforts. So Bhagavan Ramarshi also spoke about grace. Grace works wonders. Gurudev was asked sometime by somebody I heard, I was in Hong Kong or somewhere, Swamiji, I remembered you, I prayed to you, and I felt that your grace, I mean, you only came and helped me out, and it just happened. I said, I don't know, but my grace must have worked, he said. That's a grace. So, Swabhavata Siddham, Aruda Chetasam, those who are illumined minds, those who are exalted minds, those whose minds are under their control. Manojayatvatam, those who have conquered their minds. Vashinam, Jnana Siddhinam iti yavat. Those who are Jnana Siddhi people. Aruda Chetasa means what? Those who have conquered their mind, or those who are riding over the minds, those who have brought their mind under control, or those who have got the siddhi accomplishment in jnanam iti yavat. Ekesham mahatam jnana siddhim vinapi mahan prabhavasyat. Somebody without jnana siddhi, somebody else can influence others with their thought. There are so many historians influence, so many other philosophers influence the world thought, but they don't have jnana siddhi. Therefore, here very clearly said that satam aruda chetasam mahatam, so jnana siddhi, anybody can influence other people also. Therefore, ataha jnanitva visishtam mahatvam abhipretam. Therefore, mahatvam, the greatness of the jnana siddhi, attained through siddhi in the jnanam, is here said very clearly. So that kind of a people, satam means sarveyapi jnanina satpurushaya bhavanti. Satam means the good, wise people, good people. But sarveyapi jnanina satpurusha, all the jnanis around are good people only. Loke durjanam na kepi mahantam manyante. Kopi, durjanam, wicked people are not considered by anybody in the world as great. Only great people are considered as great in the world. So, tat kurtaha idam visheshanam. Therefore, satam mahatam. विदुर जी says, साधु को मदद करने वाला साधु ही होता है और बाकी लोगों को भी मदद करने वाला साधु ही होता है. सबका मदद करने वाला साधु ही है और साधु को भी मदद करने वाला साधु ही होता है महाराज करके विदुर जी कहते हैं धृतराष्ट्र से. So that means what? Kvisešanam saujanya jyotanaya iti grahyam. So their saujanya jyotanaya means what? These people are easily accessible to everyone. Iti grahyam. Uktam. उन्मत्तवत् पिशाचवद आचरति ज्ञानिनी महापुरुषे कथम तत्सहवासो घटते जिज्ञासुर्मानुष. If suppose a wise man is acting like a pishachavat, unmattvat, intoxicated, mad person, who wants such a satsang of such a Mahatma? If there is no saujanyatvam, maybe Mahatma may be great, but he is very cruel or not entertaining any people, very caduce in behavior. Suppose example. Or he doesn't want to talk to anybody. He doesn't want to entertain anyone. Like Tapan Maharaj, he doesn't want, only few people he entertained. He doesn't want to beat around. So naturally, obviously, everybody could not get sahavasa with him. But Gurudev allowed everybody. Ramana Maharshi allowed everyone. So Tapan Maharaj said, I don't want to teach anybody. And he advised Gurudev also, don't teach anyone. Yahi baith jao. But Gurudev said, no, I cannot sit. I have to go and work the world in the world. So their compassion is such way. And Tapan Maharaj worked in different dimension. Quietly eating and sitting quietly and blessing the world. That is a different dimension of work. But such Mahatmas cannot be approached by everybody. Now and then, satsang karo, question and session, namaskar kiya, phal diya. Oh, he never entertained anybody. Or on the contrary, some pishachavat behave kiya. Who wants such sahavasa? So, saujanyatvam is required. Ability, accessibility is required for a Mahatma. Then we can approach. Tasmat, unmatta, pishachavat, anacharatam. Those who are not like acting like a mad people or ghosts like a pishachavat, those who are not having this kind of vyavahar behavior, balavat sthitanam, those who are like children. Mahapurushanam sahavasena atyantika sreyo labho manasaha swarupa avasthiti rupa prattipadi. Therefore it has been said very clearly, such a Mahatma who is like a child-like in behavior, Mahapurushanam, of the great beings like Ramana Maharshi, sahavasena atyantika sreyo labho manasaha, of the mind, atyantika labha, the extreme good will take place in the form of self-abidance, swarupa avasthiti rupo pratyapadi. That ultimate good in the form of establishing oneself in one's own swarupa takes place if we can get sangatya of such a Mahapurusha. Atra Mahapurushasya prabhasa sanklantihi anyatra asmabhihi ullikhata. The author says, elsewhere I mentioned about the greatness of the emerging effulgence of the Mahatma. What is said there? Abhyantara jivana prabham bhakya jivane swabhavataha abitaha prasarayataha. Abhyantara jivana prabham, that effulgence which is there inside them is bhakya jivane, in external life, in the external world, swabhavataha, naturally, abitaha prasarayataha. They spread this all around because of their compassion. That is their great Mahatmas are there. Iti Sri Maharshim Adhikrutya Adhyayi. So we have said about this, said about whom? Keeping Maharshi in view, I said this elsewhere. That Mahatmas sit out of compassion, their inner prabha is thrown out as a blessing to the world. Yevameva stauti cha acharya asmakam. Therefore, we asmakam acharya stauti. What is that? Bhagavan Ramana Maharshi also said same thing. Hrudaya kamale nitya nishta bhaischa sarat prabheyati. So one who is abiding very firmly in one's own heart, he also spreads that effulgence and the light and brilliance in the outer world. If such a Mahatma is available in the world, and if you have karma paripakvata, ability, time and everything, if you can spend some time in long hours in that such a proximity, not a meeting from distance. A personal rapport should be there at least. From distance also we get some blessings. But that sahavasa. Sahavasa means living along with him, being with him for some time at least. Then this is another method of mind control and self-abidance. Okay? So, we also praise our master. Yes. We praised our master also elsewhere, that Bhagavan Raman Maharshi abiding in his own heart, blessing everyone. Now, therefore, satsangatve, nissangatvam, nissangatve. But satsanga means what? Not by bodies are dropped, minds are running everywhere. That's why Gurudev said, company doesn't transform you. Companionship does. What is satsanga? Not company. Companionship. Suppose I am with a drunkard. Company of a drunkard. I need not change. If my mind is tuned to his mind, then I can become drunkard. So satsanga doesn't mean company. Companionship. That is the word. You please contemplate on this word. Companionship means what? Contemplate. That is the homework for all of you for next 2 months. So we will have in December 2024 only. In November 2024, no class. This is October, na? So November, there is no class. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Sri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om Sadgurunath Maharaj Ki Jai.